What's up, YouTube? Prof Sales here, coming at you with another profit sharing show. And today is Tuesday, October 11th, 2016. Let's see how our sound is. Oh, we got to wait for the commercial to go by, right? Sounds great so far. How is everybody doing out there? We'll let the room fill up a little bit. We'll move on to some of our other topics. Hope you are doing well. It is the middle of October. We're almost to, I guess we're about a third of the way through October. So how are your goals going for this month? Are you hitting your goals? Do you need to adjust? Have you been able to improve your processes, your sourcing, your listing, your photographs, whatever it is, your business model is? Have you been able to improve that from October? And you know, a cool thing you can do on eBay, at least, you can do it on Amazon too, is you can look back at this period of time in September and see how you're doing compared to that time, which I like to do that. I do that probably 3 or 4 times a week. I will look and compare, you know, however far we are in this month to how I was doing last month and see if I'm ahead or behind and so on. And I think it's a good way to kind of, you know, measure your progress against where you were just 30 days ago, basically. And you can look back at your time last year as well. eBay gives you an easy way to do that, which is pretty cool. But, you know, how are you doing with that? How's everyone doing with your business in general? Not just maybe your goals, but are you feeling confident? It's basically Q4 we're into now. Are you feeling like you're ready for it? Are you starting to see a sales pickup, a sales slowdown, sales about the same? Let me know in the chat box, you know, or comments after this video. And, you know, just share your thoughts with you. You know, just kind of talking it out sometimes with other people helps. And I am interested in it. I'm always interested to know how everybody else is doing. And, you know, just seeing if their results are, if you're improving or, you know, falling behind or where you're at. So, so a few things, a couple things to talk about. Last night we had, sorry, I was just looking at email. Last night we had a live show on Revenue Wrap. We had Tracy Smith on, otherwise known as Entrepreneur Girl, and she was amazing. Tracy has a cool story, an inspirational story about all the things that have happened to her over the last, you know, 5-10 years. And she has managed to persevere for sure and see her way through just some really tough trials and tribulations, all while maintaining her poise and calm and becoming successful in her business. And did I mention that she has 8 children? I mean, that alone is a huge feat to sort of process, you know, having to be in business for yourself while at the same time homeschool your kids, be able to manage all those schedules and all the enormous time commitment that children are, as well as her, you know, she has a husband as well. So, I mean, she's maintaining a large family at the same time, a successful business. So it was a cool interview to hear her talk about how she did that, what she had to come through, how she stayed positive, how she's maintained her success and is now looking to grow even beyond where she is now. There's links to her channel as well as her YouTube channel, as well as her website are in the description of that video. So if you haven't watched it, you know, check it out. Check out her website. She has 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, so she's one of the larger reseller channels out there for sure, and just an all-around nice person, as well as successful. So definitely somebody you can learn from. Definitely you can, you know, take from her example and maybe apply it to your own situation and become better at what you're doing. So anyway, it was a great show, and we have another one coming up next week. I'm not sure if I should say the person yet or not, right? Should I say that? Should I say who it is? Is there a time frame for when that should happen? I mean, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. Just nailing it down 100%, but probably be Wednesday of next week, actually, because Monday I'm actually going to be out of town sourcing. So I'm not going to be able to do a show Monday night. I just don't think I don't know if we'll be back in time. And even if we are back in time, I don't know that I'm going to have the energy to do it, quite honestly, because it's going to be a full day and we may not get back till late. And I don't want to feel like I have to rush to get back. So we're going to have the show next week on Monday, which I think is the 19th at 9 p.m. And our guest will be the one and only Rockstar Flipper. If you have not heard of him, he also has a YouTube channel, which I will be linking in the description and so on. And he does great volume, a lot of it on eBay. And to be perfectly honest, I've only watched a couple of his videos and so on. So I'm kind of really interested in learning more about what he does and so on. I know he sells I know he has sold in the past a lot of clothes. So this should go kind of right up our alley with a lot of you guys who watch this channel. And yes, Casey, that's his name, Rockstar Flipper. I actually don't know his last name, but he's definitely made a good name for himself in the community and is also supporting himself and his family with reselling. So I think it should be another great interview. He has probably a different approach than maybe I have and some other people have. So I reached out to him and he was gracious enough to agree to it. And quite honestly, he and I have never even talked before. So that was pretty cool that he was up for a interview without even really knowing me. So that was nice. That was nice to do. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, there's so many people out there, guys, who are doing this business and doing it in different ways and, you know, slightly different tactics than maybe I have. And I learned something from all of them. And I don't always take back everything they tell me and apply it to my business. But man, it's just good to kind of hear, you know, what other people are doing and how they're doing it and their perception of it. Because you just get something out of it, even if it just sort of refines what you already think. So yes, Casey, the Rockstar Flipper, will be on next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. Right now, the time is set for 9 o'clock. So you're hearing it now. You're hearing it here live. I'll be putting up a show reminder. Hopefully you guys have seen, hopefully you saw it with Tracy. Someone had asked me to make those shows set up so that you could see a reminder a little better. And it should have been on there. You could set a reminder. I'm trying to do a better job about putting it on the front page of Prof Sales, so that you can set a reminder that'll let you know when the show is starting. Hopefully that worked okay. I think it did for Tracy's show last night, and I'll do a similar one for Casey's next week as well. And we'll just that way you won't forget. Hopefully you can send yourself a reminder and just you know. All right, so let's see who's in the room. Stone Mason is here. What's up? Greener Pastures, Future Apple. Hello, how are you? Mark, hey, what's up, buddy? Marcos is here, says Casey is the man. And Yvonne is here, just showed up. Hello, Yvonne. So we got some of Crafty is here. We got some of our regulars and some people that we don't see quite as often, and maybe some new people. So yeah, so really interesting. You know, show last night, as I mentioned. You guys check it out and check out, you know, Tracy's channel and so on. And just, you know, you can learn from her, even if it's basic stuff. I mean, here's, I don't know if I told the story last night, but when I was first starting to thrift some things, I literally watched a video Tracy did on Scotty peelers. If you know what a Scotty peeler is, I don't know where mine is. Karin has it over there somewhere, I think. But it's just a little plastic tool that you use to scrape off stickers and stuff from, you know, like things you get at a thrift store. That's the kind of practical advice Tracy gives you, but at the same time, she'll give you advice like on your mindset and staying positive and setting goals and having things in front of you to remind you where you're going. I mean, she kind of is a jack of all trades. So definitely a lot you can learn from her, and she'll be back on the show again. Hopefully we'll have a little less. It's a little glitchy last night. She has a little bit of a internet issue where she lives. It's just a little bit spotty, but still tremendous amounts of great information on that interview. So glad we did it. Camilla, how are you doing? Glad to see you. We got 18 people watching, guys. So that is cool. Thank you for that on a Wednesday. All right, so what else is going on? So a couple things Karin and I have on tap. Karin is back in town. Yay. Very happy about that. I picked her up at the airport yesterday. And she is taking pictures. Today, she took pictures. We did a small sourcing run right after I picked her up at the airport. I mean, we're hardcore. Like, she's been gone for 4 days. I picked her up from the airport. We went straight to lunch and then straight to sourcing. So we had a couple stores yesterday and pulled about 20, 21 jeans. Nothing crazy. But she's been taking pictures today, and we've been listing. We're planning a sourcing trip tomorrow to a new area. So we are really excited about this. An area we have not gone to before. We're not sure of the quality of the stores or how much. We called and did a preliminary call with the stores to find out their pricing and so on. Their price is about the same as they are in Charlotte, just a tad more. So we'll deal with that. That's not a problem. But there's several stores on our path, probably about, maybe 12 or so, maybe 14. I don't know how many we'll get to tomorrow. We're going to get up early. We're going to hit the road because we're going to have to drive probably a good hour and a half before we get to them. But then we'll just be able to kind of go right down the interstate and hit them and then come back the same way. So we're really excited about that. We need to buy 129, actually call it more like 135 pair tomorrow. That's our goal, is to get 135 pair of jeans tomorrow. That should give us enough to list over the next several days, plus any fallout from defects and ones that we miss that have flaws. We always try to buy a little more. 150 is the goal, but we really want to be around like 155, 157, because we're going to have some that'll fall out where we'll miss issues with them. So we need to buy about 120, actually about 130, 135 tomorrow to be safe. So that's our goal, is to buy 135 pair. Don't know if we'll get it or not. I mean, if you hit 10 stores, it's only 13 and a half a store. That's not very many. That's definitely doable. That's a kind of averagey kind of day. But yes, it's a new area. So we don't know what we're going to find. We don't know how well the stores are going to be stocked with jeans. We're definitely going to be looking for other items while we're there too. We're going to be looking, our typical strategy, guys, I don't know if I've told you this or not, but what we typically do when we go in a store, any store, Karin goes straight to the jeans. But I go over to the hard goods. I go and look at like books and CDs and anything that's new in the package. Anything can be Amazon or Amazon FBA. And then I come and help her finish out the jeans. And then we go check out and move on to the next store. And we try to time it to where we're in the store 30 minutes max. And I'd say we hit that pretty regularly. We're only in the store about 30 minutes, and we're able to go through, I'm able to kind of go through I don't scan every book or every CD. I am cherry picking, which is not optimal, but we go through every pair of jeans. And, I go through and cherry pick the CDs and the books and so on. So hopefully we're in there only 30 minutes and then maybe 15 or 20 minutes to drive to the next store at most. That's our goal. So we try to hit one store every 45 minutes on average. It depends though. If we're finding more jeans or they have more jeans, it's going to take longer than 45 minutes potentially. So a couple people are commenting in the room. Darren says, hello, what's up? The Jean Machine. That's a funny name, the Jean Machine. That's what I should call my channel, Darren. That's pretty clever. Mark, not hard to get 12 out of a store. No, it's really not. 12 is not bad. Video keeps freezing. I think that might just be on your end, Darren, because it doesn't look like it's freezing elsewhere, but maybe someone else can say. Mark can source jeans in 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, I agree, Mark. I mean, and I'm really fast at it now. Karin is more meticulous, and she finds value where I don't, whereas I just discard it really, really quickly if need be. She goes a little bit slower and takes her time, and she finds jeans that I don't find. So it works out. Vanessa's here and caught a live show. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm glad you caught it. Glad to have you here. And Crafty's taking stickers off as you listen. I know, right? It's a never-ending battle with the stickers and Goodwill. Just ugh. But anyway, where was it? Karen was. I should let her tell it, but she was in New Hampshire this past weekend visiting her friend, and she went to her first Savers that she'd ever been to, and I think she found a game there that was pretty good. I think it was at Savers. It might have been at Goodwill, but she found a new game that should draw about $40-45. She found it for $4, so that was great. We don't have Savers in this part of the country, so that was kind of cool for her to see that. But she was telling me there at that Goodwill in New Hampshire, I don't know if she was in Portsmouth or Rochester, but they apparently tag every clothing item individually. Oh, I mean, what a time suck. You know, I don't understand why stores put all their resources into that. But anyway, so the jeans were not great deals. They were too expensive. The prices were as high as $20 for, like, you know, American Eagle new with tags, $20. Like, no thanks, Goodwill. But so she didn't get any jeans, but she did get she got the game, I think. And, you know, she's flying, so she couldn't buy too much stuff anyway. It's like, how is she going to get it back here? You know, it just wouldn't have been economical. She would have had to check another bag, which would have cost, you know, $30-40, whatever it is these days. So, but a little different experience in Savers and so on. So, and we have a lead on maybe someone to help our business up there as well. But I don't want to say too much about that yet, but I'll let you know if that happens down the road. Stone Mason asked, when you first started, how did you promote your selling page, eBay or Amazon? Stone, basically, I've had a store almost from day one. So that's some promotion there because you can create some branding around it and so on. I don't do anything else though, honestly. I mean, that's about it. Like I don't even post it on social media or anything like that. I just let my listings do the talking for me. Mark says he started not being as picky and even some jeans with defects sell. You're right, Mark, they do. It just has to be the right defect and not something that's too noticeable. Like I have certain things that I will not buy. If the back design is torn up too much on the butt, I usually don't buy it because that's a selling point for so many people is that design. But there's other ones, you know, if there's fraying on the cuffs, whatever, not such a big deal. Value Village is the same as Savers. Yes, Crafty, and we have Value Village here in Charlotte, and they stink. I mean, they're. I'm not going to say you're not going to ever find anything good there, but for clothing, I mean, they do a couple things that really are annoying if you're a clothing reseller. First of all, they swift tack everything, so they put a hole in the garment somewhere. There's a hole where they've shot that tag through. Sometimes it's very small and not noticeable. Sometimes they do it through like sports coats. You know, so Ronnie Hart would have a fit if you saw that, but their prices are high. Here they price like, you know, bigger size men's jeans like at as much as $10 sometimes that are used and not even in good shape and nothing special. So the Value Villages here, I don't know how they compare to Savers or the same company, I understand, or have some sort of affiliation, but they're not very good here in Charlotte. I've shopped 2 or 3 of them here and just never had a lot of interest in their clothing. Lake Placid says they're starting to tag all clothes in Michigan. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Corbett Coast says, if I'm interested, I have a lot of 150 pair of jeans available 30 miles west of Chicago. Nice. That's probably a little far for me to try to get to them, and shipping them would be pretty expensive. But I bet you could find a seller there locally or a buyer there locally, I'm sure. Crafty says, I get names and games and housewares there. Yeah, I've had some luck with games there and some puzzles. Sometimes you find new puzzles. I guess they buy closeouts or liquidations, Value Village, and then dump them in their stores. So you can find those new in the package sometimes. But their clothing overall, not a lot for what I buy. Not jeans wise and so on. Do you cross list to Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram? I do not, Vanessa, and that's probably a mistake, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not making a huge profit on each pair of jeans, right? So it only makes sense to spend so much time in advertising that item. If I have to spend too much time and I know it's not a lot of time to cross post to these. I know there's ways you can do it quicker, but I don't know. I feel like the people who follow me on social media, which is not a huge group, it's mainly on Instagram, is where I have I don't know, I guess I got about 80 people on there now. They're resellers and entrepreneurs. I mean, they're not really buyers. I mean, I would almost want to create a whole new account to post this stuff if I was going to try to use those platforms to sell it. That would probably be the smart thing to do. I know there's people who do it and do well with it. I probably should do better about that. I just haven't gotten around to exploring it, quite honestly. I mean, it's really that simple. I've never been to a store without tags. They're all like that here. Shrek Attack, if I'm saying that right. They're like that in Charlotte. They just put like a sign on the rack and say jeans $4.99. T-shirts $3.99. Men's and women's long sleeve and short sleeve shirts are $3.99, I believe. They don't tag any of it really. The only time they put a tag on it is if it's on their love rack, something that they think is worth $10 or $12 or $15, and then they'll stick a tag on it. But that's it. They don't tag any of it. They just put it out, and it saves them a lot of time. Our Goodwill has color tags, usually 2 colors. Colors are 50% off and $1 on Sundays. I know. We just don't do a lot of sales here. 25% off for senior citizens on Tuesdays. That's about it. I mean, the stores otherwise don't do anything. I mean, I do have one outlet here, which I've talked about before. It's not great. So, we just don't get a lot of sales, but they're not priced high to start with. So what else? All right, so Karin and I were talking about summer plans. It's not too early to start thinking about next summer because as we all know, or at least I know, jean sales are going to fall off in the summer. So we've been thinking about things to, supplement our income and sell during the summertime. And I think what I'm going to explore, and maybe some of you guys have some input on this if you already do it, is T-shirts. T-shirts are plentiful in my area. It would be something that would complement jean sourcing, obviously, because I could do it in the same place. They are cheap, around $4 a pair or $4 a shirt. And I don't know how many I can find and what I can sell them for. I'm going to have to do some research. I'm not really sure how I would store them either. But that subject came up the last show we did, I guess last week, about Krillin says concert T-shirts. Sure. I mean, that would be one of them. And I don't know. It just appeals to me on some level. I wanted to show you guys, this is the shirt that Karin brought me back from New Hampshire, where they went to a Wahlburgers. If you guys know Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg of acting and New Kids on the Block fame, have their own hamburger chain. They have a show, a reality show about it. I've never eaten there. Apparently we're going to get one here eventually. But Karin went there and ate the food, and all I got was a T-shirt. So, hey. She just laughed upstairs. It's funny. But no, it's a great shirt. But it got me thinking about it. It's like, T-shirts are an easy transition for me to make. I don't know how well. I don't know if they're as seasonal as jeans or not. Maybe they sell more year-round too. I don't know. But you can certainly store them easily. They ship cheap. I would think most of them are £1 or less. So I'm thinking you could ship them first class. I may be incorrect on that. So there's our thought for the summer and the spring. Before I get to these questions and comments, I want to say, guys, 25 people watching. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, smash the like button down below. It lets me doing a good job. No, I'm doing a good job, and lets YouTube know as well. So I appreciate it. Darren says, why not shorts and swim gear? I don't know, Darren. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Mark says, I was thinking new T-shirts. Maybe. That's possible too. Krillin says, anything that is from a movies or TV show makes money. You have to make sure it is vintage. That makes sense. That makes sense. Greener says the ROI is much less on T-shirts. Well, that's a good point, Greener. What would you say the ROI is? Like, I can get shirts here for, I know I can get them at thrift stores for $3.99, which they're about $4.28 with tax. So $4.28. What's my average selling cost on a $3.99 T-shirt? Let's say I charge shipping, first class shipping, which should be what, about $3.50 probably, somewhere there, maybe $3, $3.25. So I'm not going to eat anything on the shipping. What am I going to make on a $4 shirt on average? I don't know. I'm asking, so I have no idea. Somebody says 12 to 15. Crafty says 12 to 15 bucks. I don't know. I mean, that sounds all right. So if, let's say at the low end, Crafty, if you're right. So if I buy, I'm going to pull out my little sales calc here, and it says if my buy price is 12 bucks, and we'll say my shipping price is $3.50, and my shipping cost is maybe $3. We'll just say it's probably about right. And the item sells for 12. I shouldn't. Oh wait, I put the wrong thing there. I should net 428. So if I sell a shirt for 12 bucks plus $3.50 shipping, and it cost me $4.28, I should make a net profit of $6.07. $6 a shirt. Yeah, I mean, and that's if I buy them from the thrift stores. Obviously, I know I can get them in quantity there. Okay. There's other places to get them too. Obviously, you know, estate sales. Sometimes you're not gonna find too many T-shirts there, but garage sales and so on. Maybe local bulk. I don't know. Maybe closeouts. Who knows? Probably not as many pictures for a shirt. I'm thinking as jeans. Jeans, you're gonna have to take 5 to 7 to 8, maybe even sometimes 10 photos, depending on certain factors. Shirts, maybe I'm thinking 3 pictures. I don't know. $6 net. Is that enough, guys? I don't know. I have no idea. You tell me. And that's at 12 bucks a shirt if they're selling 12. If they sell 15, obviously the profit goes up. Greener says, I think Crafty's pretty close with the 12 to 15 bucks price. Okay. Sadie, what's up, sir? Says, I'm dabbling in merchandise by Amazon. I sell a few T-shirts. Just sold an Obama 2008 for 24 bucks, paid 99 cents. Yeah, I mean, shirts like that are cool, right? I mean, President Obama's getting ready to go out of office soon. It's kind of a cool thing for people to have, you know, regardless of your political persuasion. Doesn't matter. You know, people like stuff like that. So Crafty says, depends on the shirt. More vintage and tour shirts, you can get average of 30. Wow, that is nuts. But see, I have no idea to know how if they're vintage or not. Is there a year posted in them, a date? Just have to kind of research it. Twisted says $4 is high to pay for a T-shirt. Yeah, and it might be. Have you checked the shirts at the sourcing tool? Future app will ask. No, I have not as of yet. And that's something I would have to do. I would go through my normal process. I would probably talk to a few people in the community who are selling shirts. And then I would make the decision on whether to start pulling the trigger to start sourcing them. And maybe I would just start small and, you know, say, all right, I'm gonna take $500 and buy, you know, 125 shirts, whatever that comes out to be, and see how I do. And maybe I can get them for less than that. Let's see. Sadie says, I never paid more than $1.99, mostly 99 cents. That's great. You should get garage sale T-shirts. You can get them cheaper in bulk. That makes sense. I've never tried to source it that way before. So Krillin says, I just found a dozen concert shirts from a estate sale, paid up, but I got Pink Floyd, Zepp, the Stones, the Dead. Man, that's some awesome groups there. I approve of all those for reasons besides it. I'd probably just keep the T-shirts. That'd be the problem. I'd want to keep the damn shirts and not sell them. Research the company that made them, marks, etc. Okay. And concert shirts are very low risk and high return on investment. And that's what I want to get at, right? I mean, if you're only into an item, guys, for $1 or $2, I mean, even if it only sells for $8, you're going to make a little bit of money on it. Not a lot, but you're going to make a little bit. I mean, your risk is very low. It's not like buying a $50 item or a $100 item that might sit there for a year before you get your sale back out of it. So it almost seems to me like it's a quick flip. Now, am I correct that you can mail shirts for the most part or ship them first class? Because I'm looking at this shirt and I'm thinking, there's no way this shirt probably weighs a pound. So I'm thinking it could go first class. I'm thinking a lot of t-shirts could. And I wear like a large and men's, pretty average size guy. Maybe the bigger shirts, not so much, or if they're made of certain material. Crafty says, yeah, first class is poly bag. Okay, yeah. Right, in poly bag, or, I find padded, like the plain brown padded envelopes, they weigh the same as poly bags. And I can get them price-wise pretty much the same price. And they're a little easier to get a label on. Sometimes they look a little nicer. I don't know if that's an option too. Maybe I'd go straight poly bags. I can get those cheap, obviously. Tees weigh 8 to 9 ounces. Okay, that's perfect. So even if somebody bought 2, it's possible you might get both of them in. Well, after your shipping, nah, you're not going to get 2 in there. If they weigh 8 ounces each, that's 16 ounces. But I was saying even if they bought 2, you could get both in one combined shipment. Greener says, you might want to look at t-shirts the next time you're scouting for jeans. Start acquiring some inventory now and test the waters. Yes, a lot of shirts go first class. Cool, thanks for that. They run about $260 per t-shirt first class. Susanna says, oh, that's great. I mean, that's not expensive. And I'm assuming you guys who sell t-shirts, you charge shipping. You charge like $3 or something like that, flat rate, or do you do calculated? Do you find it matters? I don't know. I mean, again, I'm just asking questions here, and I'm sure there's other people have the same question. I start my shirts at $14.99 with best offer, free shipping unless it's special. I'll research and price accordingly. Okay, so that sounds about what other people are saying, Mr. Sadie. So shipping's costing you maybe $260. So your cost after shipping would be about, your gross after shipping would be about $12.40, somewhere in there, if it sells for $14.99. Prof, you have to look at signals made in the USA, certain licensing brands like Anvil, Brockham, they usually have a date and small numbers next to the graphic. Oh, man. All right, so we need to do a show on t-shirts. This is awesome stuff. You guys are really dropping the knowledge in here. This is why the show is so awesome, that you guys have so much knowledge that you're sharing. So that's really cool. Krillin does calculated shipping. Susanna charges $3.99 per shirt. Okay. Crafty charges $3 shipping, an average $12.99 per shirt. Twisted charges shipping for everything. Vanessa says she wants to net $5 per shirt. Okay, that seems reasonable. And they have to have a real tag on the neck, not a pressed on label. So, and what do you guys do for pictures? Are you using a mannequin, a bust form? Are you taking shots of it laying on a table? How many photos are you taking? What's kind of the expectation? Are you selling any with defects? And if so, what sort of defects are? It seems like there wouldn't be a lot of defects on a shirt that would be comparable or acceptable is probably the word I'm looking for. Sadie says all of his first class items are free shipping now. After much testing, I found it helps for me. Okay, that's cool. That makes sense. Mannequin for Krillin, flat table picks for Crafty. Okay, so there's some differing opinions about what to do here. And I can appreciate that. Like, not everybody's approach is going to be the same, but I'm just trying to learn a few things here, and I appreciate you guys sharing it. I'm sure there's other people who appreciate it too, and will when they watch this video. We should have called this like the t-shirt video. I didn't expect it to turn into that, but that's what it's becoming, and it's awesome. Susanna says, I just hang mine up on a clear background. I don't sell a shirt with defects unless it is in high demand. Twisted uses a mannequin front, back, and tag. That's kind of what I was thinking, twisted, like maybe 3 shots. Vanessa says both mannequin for front, back, flat, or measurements. Oh, measurements. Oh, that's an interesting question. And we haven't brought that up yet. Better to invest the time to take good pics and lots of them and to dig out the item to answer questions later. Oh, preach, Vanessa. Nothing annoys me more than having to pull out a pair of jeans and, you know, someone will say like, it's usually the front rise is the measurement because I don't do that one by default. And they're like, what's the rise measurement? I'm like, ugh. And somebody the other day said, do these pants run short? And I was joking with Karen. I was like, I want to answer them back and say they fit somewhere between King Kong size and Ant-Man size, you know, so somewhere in that range. But of course I didn't. I measured the rise for them and sent them the rise. Or actually I sent them the inseam, excuse me. It was already in the specifics. They just didn't see it. Crafty says vintage 80s and 90s gaming shirts go for big dollars. Friend sold one for $80. Wow. Wow, $80 for a t-shirt. Man, that is nuts. Future Apple shoots shirts on a hanger. That's interesting too, because, you know, you think a lot of people are going to hang their shirts up, so that kind of makes sense. I think t-shirts you could get away with laying it on a table, a mannequin for those very special shirts with a lot of detail. All right. Susanna measures pit to pit and length. That makes sense. And include the size tag if there is one. Krillin says, here's what's great for vintage shirt. Condition doesn't matter. Oh, unless you're trying to get huge money. Okay. And that makes sense. I mean, I can see how a buyer would look at it that way. King Flip says how you do this really depends on how much inventory you plan on keeping. That's a great question, King Flip. I'm not even sure how much I would plan on keeping. That's a great question. I'd have to think about that a little bit. Very easy to list, sell similar, adjust title, size, and pics. I can do at least 20 per hour, Sadie says. Wow, and that's with photos, Sadie? That's awesome. What's up, man? 20 per hour is a huge number to get done, Sadie. So if you can do them full from start to finish, 20 an hour, man, that is nuts. So that means 100 in a 5-hour day. That's a lot of shirts. I just got under 50 for a vintage Nintendo Star Fox shirt. Oh, that was a great game. I remember that game. Played it a few times. Big money on vintage gaming. Wow. A close-up of the graphic on the tee is important. Buyers want to see any cracking if there's any. Oh, yeah, like those appliques have like cracking, right? I remember that. Who knew we had so many T-shirt experts in this room? I mean, man, you guys are amazing. Just the knowledge coming out of this. This is like a master class on selling T-shirts. So glad we brought this up. And Vanessa asked, what's everyone's experience with funny graphic tees? So, man, that is great. Thank you, guys. I mean, I can't thank you enough for like all the knowledge you just dropped in this room. Anyone watching this video, I'm going to try to put a description in the description of this video that we talk about T-shirts, because you guys just really laid it out there. And I think, and some of you joined late, not late, but you joined right before the beginning of the show. Our guest next week on Revenue Wrap on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock is going to be Rockstar Flipper, Casey. And he's got, I think he sells T-shirts, I believe, or he has. I'm not totally familiar with his entire line of his product line of what he sells, but I think he does sell those. So this conversation could come back up again. And he does some pretty big volume on eBay. I think he does somewhere around maybe $250,000 a year on between his platforms. I'm not sure if that's all eBay or that's eBay and Amazon. So obviously a bigger seller and has had a lot of great success. And so if you guys are interested in this T-shirt topic, we may get into it some more on Wednesday night, not tomorrow night, but next Wednesday. So just so you guys know, he's already committed to the show and so on. So unless anything changes, we'll do the show next Wednesday night. I can't do it Monday because I'm going to be out of town sourcing again. So great topic about the T-shirts. Future Future Apple says, Prof, 5,000 t-shirt challenge 2017. That's just what we need, Karin. Another 5,000 item challenge, right? Because, you know, it's going to be 10,000 by then, Future. We're going to blow right on past 5,000. It's not even going to be, you know, Sadie says he can do 30 an hour. Man, I can do 150 shirts a day. What's 5,000 to get to? Not even tough. Krillin says the key to those shirts is digging. You have to dig for it like it's treasure. Nice. I'm going to get like a pirate map shirt, you know, digging for treasure. Sellers have no ideas what they're worth. You have to go through all the black bag bins. Oh, doesn't sound like fun, but if I have to do it, I'll do it. Susanna has a shirt that says something humorous about haters. It's like new. I can't move it for anything. And tees go well on Mercari. I feel like we have been unleashed. I don't know a lot about jeans. That's awesome, Mr. Sadie. Do a quick eBay sold item search in living color Wanda. Is that the character Wanda from that TV show? Because I think I remember that. I remember that show, and that show was very popular back in the day. It was really funny. You should start flipping hobby RC parts. I buy big lots and make 4 to 5 times my money. Nice. You know what I did sell the other day, Darren? It's not an RC part. We found it at a Goodwill. I sold a rocket. Remember the rockets that have, like, you know, the little boost packs you put on them and you shoot them, they go like, you know, a few hundred feet in the air. Found it for, how much was that we paid for that, Karin? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember. About $7.99?
No, it wasn't that high. I think it was only $4. Found it for $4 at Goodwill, and I think it sold for like 40. It was nice. It was new in the package. Sent it in FBA, and it sold in like, I don't know, it was less than a week. So there's a little bolo for you. Those older rockets, I guess there's people who still are into those. You know, they have like a little you get a little launcher, and they fire in the air, and they come back down with a parachute, and you can reuse them a few times. Pretty cool. Estes, that's the company. Thanks for that, Sadie. It was Estes Rocket. I believe that was the name. I believe that was the brand name. I couldn't think of it to save my life. I've never even found one before. It's the first one I've ever found. So I was like, looked it up and it was going for good money. Rush tour t-shirt is for 50 cents. Crafty picked up. Nice. Rush is one of my absolute favorite bands because they have maybe the greatest drummer of all time. Neil Peart. So amazing drummer. All right, guys. Well, listen, I am going to share my results from the weekend and Friday real quick. So we'll do a quick screen share. We'll do a quick screen share, and I will share with you what I did. So let me pull that up real quick, and we will get through that. All right. So Monday, Sunday, Saturday. Okay. So here was Friday, October 7th. I got 28 listed and sold 10 for $233. So not bad, double-digit day. Saturday, I had a lot of commitments and did not get a lot listed. Only 4, which really stunk. But hey, still managed to pull out 14 sales, which was $324 in gross, which was pretty darn good. And Sunday, 20 listed, which was yesterday. 13 sold for a $310.65 gross. Nice net these 2 days, 124 and 123.70, so not bad. Net per Gene was a little bit lower than I like, but I was running a sale over the weekend of 10% off. So that's probably the reason the sales were pretty good. That always helps. And then yesterday was Monday. Listed 6, but we went sourcing yesterday. I haven't put those numbers in yet. Sold 11 for $267. So that puts the month at a total so far. We're averaging 795 listings, almost 800 average. We've listed 149 photos so far. Selling, this is really going to be higher, as you guys know, because it's already dividing all the days of October in it. So it's 3.4 is not quite what it's going to be. It's going to be higher. Already at half our gross nearly for September, which is awesome. A net so far of $1,031 with a 40% net margin. We keep holding on to that margin. Looks like that's going to be a pretty real number. And sell through 13%, 1/3 of the way through the month is great. I mean, that could come out to be a almost 40% sell through, which would be amazing if that holds. We'll see. And finally, the graphs. You can see listings is still going up, up, up. Sell-through is above 1%. It's right around 1.25 right now. We're trending, which is awesome. Really happy about that. And sold to listed. Man, that's a nice slope of sold there, isn't it, right? All these double-digit days in the last couple weeks have been great. Just a few outliers, low days, but for the most part, double digits. And listed is going up as well. Just need to kind of just keep pushing this number over here, which pushes this number. And then finally, gross per day right now is close to $250 a day. So, you know, right now this jeans business is, if you expand it out $250 a day over a whole month, that's about a $7,000 gross per month. We'll see if that holds or if that keeps increasing. It's been steadily increasing, and we'll see how it goes. So. All right, I'm going to go back to the feed, and there's Karin. Hey, Karin.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. I've come to join the show.
You got to talk a little louder than that. Nobody can hear that.
I've come to join the show.
You don't have to talk like an idiot, but. So yeah, so those are results. Karin is, so where are we going tomorrow? Is it still a mystery?
You didn't say?
No.
You can reveal. You can say. We're going south, southwest.
We're going south. We're going into South Kakalaka, which in these parts is known as South Carolina. We're probably going to head to the, where are we going? Greenville?
Yeah, 85 South.
Yeah, we're probably going to head to the Greenville area. So there's a bunch of stores down there. They charge, what was it, $565 for jeans?
$575, no tax.
$575, no tax. That's a little more than I pay here in Charlotte, but not so much more that I'm going to sweat it. And we're hoping that this area turns out to be another great area, because that would give us at least 4 areas we could go to, right?
Mm-hmm. Good rotation, once a week per month.
Right. So if we went to each area once a week and then just cycle back through, that way we would give each week basically 4 weeks to sort of recharge, you know, and reload their jeans, which would be great. So we're going to head there tomorrow. We're going to try to hit as many stores as we can. I don't know if we really put a number on it, right? Mm-mm. And then we'll be back tomorrow night. So I'm not going to get any listing done tomorrow, but we're definitely going to go and try to source as much as we can. And then we'll come back and hit the listing hard on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And then Monday, we're going to go to another area. How much money are we going to spend?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
All right.
It might be a little tricky.
All right. So you know the whole saying, you got to spend money to make money. Okay, that's not totally true, but you do got to spend money to buy inventory. So between tomorrow and next Monday, we are looking to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of probably $1,300 on jeans alone. So that's a big number, and I'm hoping we can hit that number, and that should give us an additional 65 pair of jeans, which will get us set up, because Karin will be going back out of town, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, right?
Yes.
So she'll be here all next week, but then she'll be going out of town that following Sunday. So we've got to kind of get as many jeans as we can get in this next, 12 days, and get as many photographed and listed. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that works out. We're going to be hitting a couple new areas. I'd like to make another sourcing video for you guys, but man, those sourcing videos are really time consuming. And I'm not sure how much you'll get out of it. If we can do one, at least even maybe a short one, maybe we can make it educational. I don't know.
Or fun.
You can see Karin dancing to the song she likes to sing in the store?
My own version of apple bottom jeans. Thank you very much.
Where some words are left out.
I dance to the beat of my own drummer.
That's right.
And we're also in the market for a pair for me, aren't we?
Yes, we're looking for apple bottom jeans for Karin. Actually, any pair I think might work for her. I pull up and say, hey, how about these? And she'll be like, oh, but no. So,
but I still sing every time.
Right. So, Susanna said it was good to see you again. I don't know if you saw that.
Hi, Susanna. Good to see everybody too. And did you see Crafty sold a killer pen?
I missed that. Where is it?
Go down. It's down further.
Crafty.
Right
what did Crafty sell?
Greatest buy. 10-cent pen sold for $250.
Oh my Lord. We need to start sourcing pins. Parker Duofold. I've never even heard of that, but man, that's an awesome find.
Way to go.
Nice job. What a great flip. Vintage pens. Oh, so are we talking like a pen? We're talking a pen to write with here?
Yes,
I'm assuming.
18
okay.
karat gold tip.
That's what I thought. I just want to make sure it wasn't like a, like a button. Kingflip says, do like Dusty and keep the camera rolling the whole time.
We've done that before.
We've kind of done that. I've seen those 3-hour videos sometimes he puts up, which is amazing. Like, I don't know how like the time for that thing to upload's got to be just amazing. Like, you just got to set it uploading and walk away for hours. It must take like 3 hours for that thing to upload. But yeah, those are amazing. So that's our plan, guys, for the next couple of days. Sales are going great. I am going to take a picture of the denim forest, the denim jungle.
You joked about doing your show from the...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the inventory part.
The denim jungle.
So we were talking about it. If we get as many jeans as we think we're going to get tomorrow and Monday and get those all listed over the next, call it 2 weeks, we're going to be at our inventory cap, which means that room up there will be full. That means that we're going to have to move and switch bedrooms. So now we'll be moving the inventory into the larger master bedroom, and we'll be moving into the smaller bedroom. And that will enable us to get, I think I can put 2,700 pair of jeans in that master bedroom. So that's kind of our thinking. That will enable us to get about halfway, a little more than halfway to our goal, just with that bedroom comfortably. And if we get past that point, I don't know what we're going to do. So after that, jeans taking over. They are. When you have to start flipping bedrooms around, King, to get it all your inventory in, you know that you're hardcore. You're grinding it out. What do you average per sale? Prof. Susanna asked. The average jean sale is, I don't actually have that number in front of me because I just kind of look at the net. Let me see if I've got the actual total here, Susanna. Yeah, so it's like I'm selling on average, a pair of jeans is selling for around about $1,750, maybe $1,775 plus shipping. So, at $18, a pair of jeans nets me just over $10, just so you guys know. So I'm happy at $1,750, $1,775. I'm really happy at that number. If I can net $10 a pair of jeans, I think that's pretty good. Granted, I could just source and sell higher end jeans, but you're just not going to find that many of them to really scale a business. So that's where I'm at, Susanna. So hopefully that answered your question. And the net is a little below 10 right now, but it's not far off. So that's what I'm averaging. And I'll accept a little lower net and a little lower gross to push out more volume. So, it's all those things. But that's where we're at, guys. That's our plan. Can always do a Q&A as you're driving. Yeah, we thought about that. That's actually not a bad idea. And we could even do that in between stores sometimes. That would be a cool thing to do too. So yeah, that's our plan for the next few days. And I will probably not be live tomorrow, guys, because we're just going to spend all day sourcing, just so you know. But we will be back on Thursday for sure. I definitely want to keep you guys updated and let you know how the sourcing run went. Might put up a separate video for that and kind of let you know what the profit from that'll be. I've done one of those before, and I don't want it to come off like a haul video or a brag video. I'm just letting you guys know, like when you go out and you source a lot of volume, you're going to make a lot of money on it. It's not going to happen the next day, but you're going to make a lot of money on those items. It's just going to take you a little while to get them up, obviously. So I don't mind making a video like that where we say, all right, if we source 125 jeans, you know, that's going to net over $1,000 in profit. I'm not going to see that $1,000 on those 125 jeans for a while. They're going to sell gradually, but over time, it's going to net over $1,000. So anyway. All right, so I think that's going to about do it for today, guys. Listen, I really appreciate you guys coming out. I hope the rest of your day goes awesome and your sales are going well. If you're watching this video later or even now, please smash that like button in the words of Steve Rakin. Smash it and lets me know I'm doing a good job. I appreciate it. And, you know, also consider subscribing if you would like. The subscribe button will be here on the video right in the corner. And leave me a comment so I can answer it and reply to you guys. You know, I like hearing from you all. And it's just going to be another great day. And tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun. Right?
Right.
We love our sourcing trips. We haven't gone on one in a little while. Mm-hmm. So it should be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for now. I appreciate it. Love you guys. And hopefully we will be talking to you at the latest, probably in about 48 hours from now. And we will let you know how it all went.
We might surprise them with a live thing in the middle of the day. Why not?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We might.
You never know.
You never know. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for today, though, guys. So, again, I will talk to you guys soon. Karin will talk to you soon. And I hope your sales go really well between now and the next time we talk. And, as always, this is Prof Sales,
Gypsy, Earl, and me, Karin, saying good
sales
to you.